I think it's Illidan or G that played him on mid as well with phase boots passive. But he's gonna be a 5 here, I think.
So
I would love
this,
to see. Sorry, Sheeves.
no,
I would
go
love
for
to
it.
see some Venomancer and Warlock on the same.
On the
Oh,
same
that's
team.
so good.
With upheaval, slow.
And the fatal bonds that will work out. So, because are there any other combinations that Flying
There you
Penguin
go, you
should
have
be
your
wary for?
Venomancer.
Hey.
Rubik just steals the Venom's ulti and you have Fatal Bonds plus Rubik easy.
Yeah, just steal the ultis, Rubik.
Yeah, they still don't have like a good combo with the Warlock Fatal Bonds.
Mm.
Ursa deals a ton of damage on single target. Maybe something more AoE oriented.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of lockdown either. I mean, Rubik has the lift that's kind
Just
of
good
it.
bashers.
And you mentioned earlier that Warlock is more like a counter initiator. Does that mean that Royal Never Give Up still needs, like, do they need an initiator in their team, like their offlane, or how much pressure is on that one to be
It
an
would be,
initiator?
it
I
would
would
be,
Love
Yeah.
to see some Tiny here. All these 3 heroes on side of Flying Penguins really squish, even though he also relies on a Blink Dagger to
if you
start
could
a
get
fight.
something that does not need a Blink Dagger, that would be awesome.
Ooh, that needs a
Lee-
blink.
I mean, it needs a blink, but I guess you can take off Venomancers
It's
It's
good.
an
It's also a
initiator.
good
Alright.
pickup.
versus the Rasta
Initiation.
as well.
He also can get a lot of dual damage because all these 3 heroes are extremely low HP.
They're squishy, but there's a shield, there's a shackle, there's a hex.
Fatal Bonds into overwhelming odds.
Oh wow, what a combo.
That is not bad actually, but you do need everybody to be grouped up. It's
You're
kind of the
gonna
requirement.
make them stay in one place with Rock.
That requires your enemy team to be bad at positioning.
We saw that in the previous game.
But we also saw that when Flying Penguins is on the back foot, they know what to do. So I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt here to think that they will have decent positioning.
He can dispel this strong
You-
part
you
of
can dispel
Legion
everything,
Commander.
yeah.
He can
True.
dispel everything on their side.
Fair enough. So what does Flying Penguins need then? Because they need something beefier. They need something that can deal with that Legion Commander.
Can you get like a Razor here or a Monkey perhaps?
Are we expecting that Venom to be offlane, by the way?
It could be offlane, it could be mid. They might just lane him against Ursa,
Against the
and
Ursa,
the
yeah.
Ursa
Yeah.
doesn't have a lane.
You just want to lane him versus Ursa, definitely.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're gonna allow that to happen, but that's what you want on the side of Flying Penguins.
Mikasa looks angry,
How
not
dare they
satisfied
pick
with
Legion Commander?
what
Oh.
teammates are saying to him.
He's
Well,
very angry as well.
You know what? To be honest, if you're Mikasa, you're kind of pissed for game 1. You're like, I drafted you guys this perfect lineup, and you just ruin it with your item pick.
Yeah, it's 1-1. The team was pissed because he drafted that stuff in game number 2, but they still won.
Yes, he's pissed because of game number 1, though.
Monkey King, yeah. So I actually thought it was gonna be Razor, but Monkey King perhaps works just as well. The thing is though, Monkey is alright versus the LC and the Ursa, right? But what I hate about Monkey is when he's in dual lanes. Dual lanes for him sometimes go horribly wrong.
And Ursa shreds Monkey King in dual
lanes, yeah.
if he has a good partner. I mean, it can go both ways. If, let's say, Shadow Shaman initiates and they lane Warlock with Ursa, then you don't have anything to interrupt Shackles with. But overall, if you think about it like 1-1 wise,
One
Monkey King can't really trade hits with Ursa.
So
I guess
where
they
do they want to lane it?
I think they want to lane the Monkey versus LC obviously, and Veno versus Ursa, and they're gonna do everything to get those lanes out.
That's a good ban.
Definitely a good ban. The Pugna works so well versus both the Ursa and the LC. You have that decrep fight to basically save everyone, as the majority of RNG's damage. Well, you do have the Rock and the Rubik, but these DPSers on the side of LC and Ursa, they're just so strong that the decrep fight would destroy them. So
What does Flying Penguins need? Like, we don't really know where they're gonna lane what, right?
they look so funny. Just look at that draft.
It's a bit
They
of a
look so
question.
thin.
So thin, right? They're so
No one's
thin.
touching
Yeah.
it. Most of the time, heroes overlap against each other.
Yeah, they're very thin.
So do
and
they need a fat guy?
They definitely need a fat guy to round this up, because honestly, they look very squishy. it's gonna be hard for them to deal with just the fatal bonds. Use fatal bonds and a couple of spells, instantly you're struggling, I think.
Something.
They bend out to Huskar. All right.
Something tanky. They can go on multiple lanes because I don't know. I mean, they don't know how they're gonna lane it. Maybe even.
Can they get an OD, something
Dragon
crazy
Knight,
like
I
that?
can see them
or-
picking it up. Spectre, all right.
I mean, yeah.
Some late game insurance. It does mean. I mean, Spectre is locked in on that safe lane. I mean, you gotta have Monkey mid, Vano off lane. They can swap that about depending on what the last
But
pick
look
of
at
Royal
this.
Never
Like
Give
if
Up
you put OD now mid versus Monkey, you put Ursa versus Spectre, right? And you put DLC versus Vano. If RNG manages to get these lanes out, they're gonna crush them in the laning stage, honestly. Like, they're gonna have a favorable matchup on every single lane. So they definitely have the answers they need, the solutions for this Flying Penguins draft. They just have to lane properly, accordingly, I think. We'll see.
I do not want to hear a prediction because we have been jinxing teams left and right here in the first 2 games. But I do want to hear one different thing from both of you. Lizard, if you can tell me what RNG needs to do to win this game, and then Lacoste will do the other one. What does
I think
RNG
that
need to do?
exactly what I just said. I think if RNG wants to win this game, they definitely have to lane accordingly to their strengths. They cannot mess up their lanes, and they definitely have solutions to Flying Penguins draft if they manage to position themselves well in the laning stage. After that, it should be just cool breeze for them.
I'm not sure about this Spectre, if she's gonna have a good laning stage. Doesn't feel like it. Didn't see too much out of Spectre. And I would say the drafts are pretty even. I would give a bit more to RNG because heroes inside of Flying Penguins are kind of squishy, and they could die from overwhelming
They're
odds.
tin. They're kind of tinned, right?
Let's see if they can survive the onslaught of RNG as we head into the 3rd game of the series. It's over to ODPixel and Fong.
Thank you, Shiv. Yes, looking forward to this one. Game 3 of RNG up against Flying Penguins. So as we heard from the panel, they feel that the lanes have the potential to be very strong for RNG. Would you sort of agree, looking at these lineups, that there could be problems for Flying Penguins early on this game?
Yeah, definitely. I think Spectre is a hero that always can suffer versus the Ursa. Ursa puts a lot of pressure on, keeps the pace up. Spectre likes to slow the pace of the game down, also likes to just farm and not really get pressured early on, and that's exactly what an Ursa brings to the table. Monet also had good games already on this Ursa. And the OD matchup versus the Monkey King, we've seen that one a lot. OD ends up winning after a bit, but I've seen the Monkey Kings actually come even the first 3 or 4 levels. Kind of the nature of an OD, because your first few levels aren't super powerful. And then we look at the dispels, right? The Legion Commander, he's got a lot he can actually get off with this Presty attack, as Pano was talking about. Removing that Veno Gale, disables coming from the Shadow Shaman as well as the Lich. So the Presty attack could prove to be pretty damn strong. Now they have like double save, right? They have double save and a counter initiate on the side of RNG. While on the side of Flying Penguins, it's a lot about just like causing chaos with the Veno plus the Spectral, but that's going to be later on. So the Veno and that Shadow Shaman, they are in the top lane to put the pressure onto the Ursa like Lizard had wanted.
The battle begins.
See down bottom how well Envy can farm with backup and the post as Lich. Because pressure is certainly going to be on from the 2 members of RNG, both Arfu and Flyby standing down here in the 2-1-2s. And so this
they're actually leaving the Ursa Warlock versus the top lane instead of switching the Ursa to pressure the Spectre.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you're right.
The Legion still can with the passive and with like the Fade Bolt.
But you think the pressure is much greater if you have the Ursa in that lane?
I think the Ursa just gets pressured more by the Veno.
Yeah. Oh, okay, sure.
So yeah, the Veno just pokes him and they get too many denies and it can be a little hard. So we'll see if which support can actually like fix the lanes in a way, right? Because Lich, defensive support, Warlock, defensive support. And we should still get pressure down here, a decent chunk by Fade Bolt and just the right clicks that come out from Legion.
Yeah, they've got a good amount of spam and ways to mess with the right click of Envy early on. And the mid lane matchup, the Monkey King versus OD, is the OD's, like, should he have a considerable advantage here, or can the Monkey King farm pretty well?
First few levels are good for Monkey King, and then once levels build up on OD, he's, once you get more levels in your Astral, you actually have levels in Equilibrium, you can start to constantly get the spam out onto Monkey King and get some denies up. But first few lane waves for Monkey King are just fine. So Ursa in this game, last game he had ways to boost him up, right? He had the Empower, he had the Ion Shell, and he had Surge. And just, I mean, great setups, of course, from Lanem, especially on the RPs. In this game, though, it's an Ursa versus a Venomancer. That's probably one of the least favorite matchups for both, like the Magnus, like any of the Blinking heroes. So you want to put pressure and rely on your mobility. Venomancer just ruins you. Just keeps dropping those wards down.
So far, Fleet, you know, to do a good job with the denies in that Shaman, the right click.
Yeah, Warlock doesn't help too much as Lanem actually gets connected by Gale. He has upheaval though, so as soon as they actually make a move on him, he just turns in upheavals.
Now, Fleet still able to get some punches in from the side. I mean, if he gets the shackles, he could go for Kazoo. Like, he'll have the shackles and a shock, but yeah, Lanem using the Shadow Word before Flea is able to get a touch on it. I mean, that isn't a kill that Flea's going to try for any more.
Actually have to watch how far they overextend, even on FP. Like, both sides have to watch overextensions pretty heavily on this one, because the Orb of Venom plus Upheaval isn't anything to laugh about, and then same thing with like a Veno Gale. They don't have an actual way to interrupt the Shackle either, so if Flea does find an opportunity where he just Shackles, they can easily look to set up.
See another attempt here towards Envy.
Limit that farm.
The Frost Shield keeping Envy safe, though, each and every time.
He's out of regen. They do have a salve on their Lich, as well as the 2 Tangos, but the LC plus that Rubik, they're putting a lot of pressure onto Envy. Just Fade Bolt spams. Sure, you don't have the same base damage, so you don't have 6 denies like the Shadow Shaman does, but you are definitely slowing down the Spectre a lot with this dual lane.
Arfu and the post are going for a bit of a 1v1 here. Arfu does have stick charges and the 2 spells. Flyby. Getting Envy away from this pull. Continue to do a good job of slowing down Envy's farm just a little bit. He's still found 11 CS at the moment.
Cool, he went for the actual, he went for the chainmail. So LC, pretty low armor hero, so now he can reliably abuse his moment of courage just by clicking on the Spectre constantly. So he has that extra armor. He doesn't actually take much damage at all from it as mid. We start to see that matchup. Now it's changing, right? Yep. Level 3 and 4, OD starts to take over. First 2 or 3 levels is
the shackles here. Onto Monem with the zap, they found it. First blood going to Flying Penguins.
And Lanem.
They should be able to get the second one too with the Mango Pop Fleet. He's got any spell that he wants up, doesn't even need them. The right clicks are enough from the 2 of them. As Flying Penguins take the 2 kills up top.
Playing Ursa versus the Venomancer. We were saying very complicated to actually do so. He's still getting okay last hits, but it looks like they overextended for a kill and just got caught from those shackles.
Seemingly the Shadow Word not being enough to keep both heroes healed up to a state where those sort of plays can't come out against them. They've got to be careful.
Comes the upheaval. They're trying up for it again up top. Monet's getting poked. He's getting controlled, and they've got another shackle.
You can't run in like this. Dead. I mean, that's got to be the last time he makes that mistake. He's done it twice now.
There's no way to stop the shackles. It's gonna happen. You're gonna get shackled. You're gonna get slowed. It's a very tough lane.
I mean, even if you do get the kill there, you're still probably going to die.
Yep.
Monet.
Need to chill. They need to play it more passively. Let FP make the mistakes. Use your healing constantly to try to force them to make some errors. So Flyby gets aggressive here for the bounty. He wants to put the pressure onto the lane so that they can secure those bottom ones. As top, FP does the same thing.
I deserve this.
See middle of Rhea. Trying his best to get the Jingu Mastery stacks up, top lane. They're chasing down Lanem. He has got the Shadow Word heal, and Flea will have to back off as Monet heads in. This time they're going to try for it again. With the upheaval slow, Flea does have spells at the ready. He's trying to draw Monet as far as he can away from the Warlock. Won't be able to get the range off to go for the lockdown, but still gets himself away and keeps himself alive.
They were trying to pass bottle ticks off on each other, actually. Snaking had bought one there, and he was bottling the Shadow Shaman, but did it a little late, so he actually didn't have mana for the Ether Shock to clean up the Warlock or to get the secondary lockdown on Monet. But now, backs up, picks up Arcane Boots, fills up the bottle with that Bounty Rune, and they have a rotation coming in, looking to set up for another kill.
They know that Monet's been playing aggressive, and he turns back towards them. The shackles.
He's under tower, though, here this time.
They don't want to go for it. They respect the heal, they respect the position. And they won't commit with the Lich as of yet.
Oh, I feel better already.
They'll wait until he's in a little bit of a better position. Grab a blast and a slow. They're going to try for a hit. But, I mean, he's under the tower again. They have the upheaval, but they've got the good lockdown with the shackles. And they have got the damage to outdo the heal provided by the Shadow Word. Now, this rotation, in fact, from Rio, yeah, he's diving in from behind. Setsu just dropped down a Sanities, though, instantly picks up a double kill on both Snaking and Flea. Now, Rio, he's dove on his own. He's trying to find Lanham, but the telekinesis comes out. The Shadow Word ticking him down. Astral in play. This is looking to be a triple kill here for Setsu. If he gets the last touch, it won't be Lanham was the one to get the kill, but still 3 heroes dead in that top lane, as it ends up being an entire disaster for Flying Penguins.
Look at the Warlock's level now, too. Sure, Monet's dying, but Lanem is near level 6 now. He's actually 5 and some change on this Warlock. Upheaval is something you do have to factor in. If you're standing in it for that full duration, it's 84% slow. So beautiful TP coming in from Setsu.
Oh, yeah.
Ryu, actually, he made the adjustment. Like, he made the move early to try to get up there, but the OD's TP was just too strong.
And with the OD still being up it, they can look to try and find another, as Lelis was sticking around looking for some levels. They'll get the kill. Can Rio get anything in response? He's got a boundless strike, but the Astral's out in time. Lanham's there as well. Shadow Word heal keeping Setsu safe. He's back up to a good amount of mana. Arfu will be the one to draw the attention away from the cause as he'll dance around the trees.
Oh.
Surely there's no way he jukes his way out of this one. There is not. They'll find the Rubik. The cause are kept safe on this top lane.
The bottom lane, though, is the pressure that's coming out from this Legion Commander onto the Spectre. 24 last hits on Envy. So the last hits this time around in this game, after lanes, RNG is quite favored. Even though the Ursa had these slight mishaps up in the top lane versus the Veno.
Yeah, he's definitely, when you can see on the net worth, in the roughest position at the moment.
Yeah.
But as you say, so is not just Envy, but the entirety of Flying Penguin's cause at the moment.
It's a bit of the nature of the hero when you open with your Ursa and they open with a Venomancer. You know if you lane it in that spot, you're gonna get punished.
Top lane diving for Lanham. They're gonna pop the horn as well to get on top of him. See if they can find any kills in return. They've lost the Warlock. Setsu's there with the wraparound. Just get caught up by the boundless strike. They're getting brought down pretty low by the fatal bonds. But Envy's diving for more, seeing if he can get more out of this. He'll now look to hide in the trees as he knows the reaction's coming in. Flea does get the grab off with the shackles onto Arfu. They lose the Rubik.
Oh, he lost
Rio. And he get away, he cannot. The duel comes into play. Flyby will be able to pick up that bonus damage. Setsu getting the double kill.
I love the way Setsu built as well in this game. Not treads into like Midas or anything. It's treads triple no. Just to know how much, like, he's got all these stats so he can run around and make up for the fact that Ursa's having a bad game. If he goes for a Midas in this type of situation or anything, then he can't actually do anything. He's just going to be running around. So when he has these items, it's like, okay, Monet's having a bad game. I'm going to bail him out a little bit here, putting the pressure on the map. So I really like that he did that. Flyby is going to be able to go for a Blink Dagger pretty early on the Legion too, so they can set up for those ganks around the map when Spectre's farming alone, as Spectre will be majority of the game.
I mean, with the 1300 saved up on top of that, I was going to say, yeah, Blink instead of the Midas. He's got it queued up, so playing fully active.
On the Legion, yeah, right?
On Setsu.
Oh, on Setsu he switched it. Okay,
he's got it queued up for a Blink now.
He just gets the kill. Yep.
I mean, he's making some brilliant moves. 5-0-2 on this OD.
I think personally for me, I feel like the ODs, I feel like Blink or Force Stop are absolutely crucial in the build. Like, no matter what, you just need this item because your mobility is too important on this hero. And being able to just save yourself out of an Astral is pretty much everything.
I was meant to have this.
No real big downside to going for the Force Staff. The Blink Dagger does have a little bit because it doesn't give you any stats, but you always, well, not always, but you can reliably get your Blink off after Astral most of the time.
That's pretty much all the time, isn't it?
It's pretty much all the time, yeah.
As long as you got the facing right.
Yeah, if he's facing the right way. There's some spells that sometimes like catch it, like if you get in like the perfect frame. I think Vanogale might be one of those. Because I know Shikuchi is one of those.
because it's like over.
Sometimes. I've seen it go both
ways.
Like
what, Mirana Arrow, right? If that's under the OD, can you still blink? I don't think you can.
There's a couple
some weird ones.
Yeah.
There are some weird ones like that. But yeah, as you were saying anyway, the other blink is done on the Legion. Both of them. So they've got the double blinks now on RNG. Monet will be found out alone. Was trying to push it on his own. And they've got the control required to kill him off. Same time, the player's going to be made up top. The ping's around to Snaking. Flyby jumps in. He's got the duel, locks him down. And with the damage from the two of them, oh, it won't be an extra duel win. It will be a kill. But so not able to kill him quite in time.
Blink reveal. Immediately they're going to start pressuring down bottom. And quick movements by both heroes, Lanem as well as Afu. They should be, yeah, they're going to be the
farm
defense
some
tower
of these
pretty nicely.
wards.
Yep.
Get
Both
some easy
supports.
money. They're going to get all of them, I think.
Oh, teamwork, look at that.
Look at that. Who they letting
Oh.
get? Oh, they split it. Oh,
Okay,
they still got them both. Oh, they missed one there. Oh, they missed
They got
another.
most of
They
them.
missed a couple, but yeah, that's still a lot of money.
Most definitely. That's the Serpent Wards that only do, not only, but they don't kill the whole tower.
See, Flying Penguins trying to set up with a smoke. It is going to be walked into by Arfu.
They've got their MKOs.
Not the biggest of kills, but it will be a kill that they find. But Arfu will say he did his job. He gave up their position. They know that they're here looking for a play. Now, oh, the Pawns and the Golems down onto the three of them. Rio will get the Wukong's command out. They're trying to get the damage out with the Ursa, but Fleet's got the control of the Shackles. Still, Rio will die. They've lost the Monkey King. They'll lose Laposa and Flea as well as the two supports are chased down. Horn comes out as Envy tries to dance his way away from them, but Lanham with that body block setting up for an astral play from Setsu. Envy's going to fall as well. Brilliant fight there, and Lanham just seeing the perfect opportunity to drop the rock on the three of them with the bong combo. It was just too much damage for them to fight through.
And you said it yourself, Alpha was the bait. He had the perfect positioning there. He almost ends up living. Boundless Strike cleans him up. But yeah, Lanham gets a perfect counter initiation, and they don't have snaking at a high level. It's only a level 7 Venom,
No,
so it's not like he's got ulti.
He
He's
is
not like
not
he's
a
very
threat at
threatening.
all.
He got dueled at the start of the fight too.
He does nothing apart from apply a slow really in the team fights.
Yeah.
Obviously with the skill build.
He can mess with Ursa's Blink Dagger, but
Yeah.
Monet doesn't have a Blink Dagger.
No,
It's the other guys.
The other
that have one
guys.
right now.
And they're keeping back, and only one of them needs to get in, and suddenly the fight's in a great place for RNG.
Yep.
And it was a good call as well from RNG there as well. Maybe sometimes you'd see teams, they lose the Rubik, they're saying, oh, there's smoke there, let's back off. But they realize, hey, we can absolutely fight this with the rock. We're very strong in the team fight. Smoke gets a spell fly by Quick with the blink though. Gets the Shaman before Flea's able to get a single spell off. They also pick off Laposa. Look at the 2 kills. Envy will try and dive into to get something in return. They're trying to chase down Setsu, but Setsu knows he can just TP out. Boundless Strike's ought to be used. They have lost Arfu, but they keep their core safe and they get those 2 kills and they get more dual damage for the Legion.
Good recognition there, that TP.
Yeah, playing it smart. I mean, Setsu, he's had 2 great games. The Deucer and now this OD. He's looking pretty hot in the middle lane.
He's 8-0-3 in this game. He's playing he's playing perfect. The matchup mid, he did fine. Like, it's the nature of the matchup.
And the
Lose
build,
first few.
it's smart.
Build, it's smart.
None of the Midas stuff.
None of the Midas, just stats. Yeah, he's an OD, so of course, you'd want him to get stats. But in the last game, we saw what happened. You don't go for it, and you don't help your teammates, and you can get punished super heavily. Sure, he's going to go for the Kaya next, which is a little bit more greed, but look how much pressure he's applying. And Envy's probably just dead up here.
They put the setup. Out he goes. Jules back up. They should be able to kill him in time. What? Oh, he's getting unlucky with the dual damage.
Look, he
so close, yeah.
He's like, you could have ulted, and he's like, no, nope. He said it. He's.
I mean, do you ult for the dual damage?
He ulted him last time.
Is it worth it? Or would you say
Probably
no?
not. I mean, he has
Probably
so much
not.
in. You build up so much in during that duel that now the next few fights are a success for you.
Sure,
if you have
save the
sanities, you have 33 extra in, and you are just going to cruise.
I mean, we're going to see it here, possibly.
He might just die.
I think you just
He's losing
sanities.
it. He's losing it. He's thinking away.
There we go. That's a dead Monkey King. That's why you don't drop the ult there for the dual damage. Setsu knew. He's a smart guy.
Yeah, that was very well done.
Goes
He's playing
for
this OD honestly perfectly. Last game earlier I made a lot of errors on the OD. This game is definitely
I mean, it's night
very
and day.
successful.
It really is. This OD performance just on a totally different level from Setsu.
Yeah. As immediately Envy shows on the map, look at this. 3 heroes just start training at him.
He's got the Horn up, so can sort of play away a little bit, but not with an instant Hex coming out like that. Arfu in with the setup.
Vanished.
And Envy is gone. 7k lead now for RNG. It's looking rough. It's looking rough indeed for Flying Penguins.
They now have a Midas on Monet, so okay, Monet 0-4-4, having a very, very rough game, as kind of expected from the laning phase as an Ursa. But his teammates are, they're pulling the weight.
But maybe this is the curse. We've only seen Midas lose so far in this series. Could it be in a game where teams this far ahead, they buy a Midas and then suddenly they crumble? We'll find out if Ice Frog's voodoo magic has gone this far.
I don't, unless there's
they
some
can't,
way
they're so
that
far
Flying
ahead.
Penguins can stall to the very far late game. It's looking super impossible. They still have tier 1s up, which is great. That's the most important thing. But it's an AK gold lead running. This OD, it's not like he's versus any core that's a high int hero.
No, it's a great game for him.
If he ults the Spectre, the Monkey King, or the Veno, they're probably gonna die because of how farmed he is.
Tier 1 tower pushing Monet closer to that Blink Dagger on top of the Midas. Same time, Flying Penguins.
Oh man, I didn't
up top.
actually click on Ryoya for a while on his items. He is. I knew he was poor, but
he doesn't really
has those look like almost support items at this point. 17 minutes in.
Wow, yeah.
He literally just has phase boots and a wraith band on
they're all pretty poor.
He hasn't spent any of his gold. The support Rubik on the opposing side has a Blink Dagger already. So just looking at inventory. I know he has 1,700 gold saved, but you just look at those inventories, and he's not a threatening hero as this Monkey King.
He's going to try for flyby. But he's tanky. He's also got a heal. They've dropped the wards down for this. Setsu is in with the TP.
Oh, Setsu.
Uh-oh. Could be a bit of a mistake. Lanham will be able to drop the golem, but Setsu has fallen. And flyby, he's being dove upon by Envy. Deep past the tower. 2 dead. And now with the Wukong's command down Rio, he's keeping the distance with the Mischief. Will finally fall, but he sets up for a 3rd kill. That's Monet dead as well. As Flying Penguins take the first sort of team fight victory they've had in quite some time this game.
Setsu got punished for that TP in there. Got hit by absolutely everything right after he uses the save on his teammate. The LC had held the press the attack for quite a while when he got Venogaled too, while he was diving back. They're able to clean up a lot of those Serpent Wards, so the tower's actually not dead. But big kills going for Flying Penguins as they need those desperately. Who got the godlike? It was actually Flea who got it. So it's a rich Shadow Shaman who's pushing now the mid lane really fast.
Top tier 2 probably going to be denied, but they'll try for the mid one. TP's actually going to come in. And gets the deny on top. Flyby will be able to hold on to the mid tower before it gets in deny range. There we go, he's just desperately trying to finish at least an Echo Saber, so he has some sort of item to fight with.
Yeah, he's just not scary. It really wasn't him who did too much in that last fight. He got a good Boundless off, but it was everybody else just invading. Even the Chain Frost and Serpent Wards did quite a lot of damage.
Flyby's on the hunt, newly picked up Shadow Blade. They do have a sentry down. They are going to see Flyby just on the edge.
Envy doesn't care. He just runs in. He's like, money! Get that off,
Get that ward. Now here's Mono with the blink. So now all 3 cores of RNG with blinks ready to play.
You know, it's really funny that you literally were talking about the Midas curse and they got team wiped right after you.
That's the Midas curse. The frog is watching and he is enforcing. Force losses on those who continue to buy the golden hand. And we'll see. They do still have the lead, but
they still have a very comfortable position.
But definitely sure, and it is a Spectre. Yep. If they can somehow make sure that Envy gets the space and time to farm, he's got a Blade Mail done on top of the drums.
40 seconds till those ults are up too.
Now he just needs to get that big item. And then there's a chance for Flying Penguins. Wards are going to be dropped down to do that last bit of 10 damage to the tier 1 tower mid. Why not? Flea, he doesn't give a hoot.
As long as he doesn't get them stolen.
It's just the BM wards. He wants to make sure that his team doesn't get that last hit on the tower. He wants to make sure he gets the money.
Afu's going to try to farm him here. He has his own wards. Plague wards.
Smoke time from RNG.
Rock's
on the
up
high
in
ground.
town. Yeah, they're looking to take a fight with Rock.
They could look to take Roche.
It's going to be at the same exact time as the Hunt. Yeah, they actually are going to go with that Roche.
They've got the Ursa. Yeah, and I don't think Flying Penguins are going to suspect this at all. They're smoking to Roche play. Does not look like it's going to be scouted by Flying Penguins.
Yeah, Lanham already places the ward down on the high ground just to get a little bit of vision so he can initiate or counter-initiate. And they will get it. Now Setsu feels much better.
It's going to make these fights, again, continue to be very hard for Flying Penguins. They cannot kill the OD twice. There's many ways to save and many ways for him to play his way out. Of course, with the Self-Astral and the Blink. Also having that BKB just a couple of 100 gold away on the OD.
He's got it finished, I think, now. Yeah. Has it finished, and I believe they're nearing the triple BKBs. That one's finished, and they're still like 2,000 away from the other 2 cores, but it's going to be a timing when they do have those 3 BKBs that they're already a good deal stronger than Flying Penguins, but with those BKBs, it's going to be so much damage limited from the side of Flying Penguins. Because it's like the Veno, you know, the Veno, the Shadow Shaman, the Lich, they still do the majority of your damage in this early game.
Radiant's top tower is under
Look at this tier 1 tower down bottom without any trouble.
Get the last hit, Envy. Doesn't want to step up.
Dire's bottom tower.
He's actually going to use the Horn. Try for the play up top. They've got the push coming in from Monet and Setsu. It's just the 2 cores out alone. They get the pullback onto Setsu. He'll go for the defense action. Did just get the BKB out and ready to him, but he's not going to get the chance to get it off in the first life, as that's the Aegis gone. That looks to set up to kill him a second time. There's no backup coming in. He'll pop the BKB, trying to do his best to run away. There is there's backup now. It's around the Roche pit. If they can get here in the time, they can try and turn things around, jump forward. They have the duel onto the Shaman. That's going to be the Shaman dead. The Chain Frost bouncing around the two of them. Lanham looking to get in position to try and drop the column. It's going to be down only onto Envy, and Envy has got the blade mail up. Balance strike comes out from Ryoya onto Lanham. Lanham falls. Double kill for Envy. Now RNG, they've got to get the hell out of there. Flyby is able to get away with the Shadow Blade. They've got the blink up to the high ground on the Rubik. Monet as well, able to blink away as the primal jump from the Monkey King is off the mark.
How many bounces was that Chain Frost? Was that I think that was every single bounce.
It was I mean, it just made them. They had to split, and by the time Lanham was sort of in it, they were already separated nicely. Flying Penguins, and he couldn't really land that big Fatal Bond rock combo that he wanted to. Only getting it down onto the Spectre.
They couldn't space themselves. It was just too much damage coming into play, and I mean, losing their OD like that, having the OD be forced to use BKB, they just got caught off guard. And again, we commended Flying Penguins on their shot calling in the first game.
That was a smart shot call.
Second game didn't really do so hot. This one out, that was perfect. As soon as they saw the OD isolated up top, they made that quick move, and RNG was way too far away from him to help.
They've got to be careful. They just didn't seem prepared there for the Haunt play. You know, so they saw Envy down bottom. It was as if they forgot he was a Spectre. You know, they had the two cores pushing in top, and bam, suddenly Envy's on top of you top, and the number of advantages are easily there for Flying Penguins. And it's suddenly a very hard team fight. Sure, RNG did finally get there, but it took them too long.
Yeah, and now that was right when the Blade Mail was picked up by Envy.
Do manage to find themselves a Venomancer. They'll be able to kill him during the duel, they will. This time it is going to be bonus damage for Flyby. They'll look for more. Buyback's actually going to come out for snaking straight away. The BKB has been popped by the OD as he'll now start to back off. Envy looks to charge in. They're going to jump forward as Ryoya lands the slow onto Arfu. Arfu will get taken down as Snake King. He's looking for more. He's actually got a haste rune bowled up and ready to pop as he's in on top of Monet. It's going to mean there's no blink out potential from the Ursa if Snake King can keep himself on top of him with the poison. Jump forward from Ryoya. They'll land the Boundless Strike down, and in they go with the dagger on top of Monet. He's trying to turn with the Fury Swipes, but he's already dead. Flyby, he's in trouble too. The Sanity's Eclipse does come out from Setsu, and it's enough to kill Envy. Ryoya still alive in the trees.
The bonds.
Snake King's going to make sure that he doesn't get hit too much, and will manage to escape, allowing Ryoya to TP out.
What was that? That was a three-man bonds into Sanity's.
That's a lot of damage.
All three of them.
A 7k lead still for RNG. As, I mean, Flying Penguins there, they're really playing aggressive, getting in there now with Envy's Spectre. This time around, yeah, sure, they do get Monet. It does cost them Envy's life, so pretty much keeps the game in a similar state as it was before. Setsu's still at the top. And as you can see, yeah, the gold advantage and XP advantage being that of RNG's off the back of that fight, especially with Snake King having to buy back really to get the even trade. BKB nearly out for Flyby, and obviously when these BKBs are out, it's going to make the job a lot harder for Flying Penguins to get these kills in these team fights.
Yeah. Just this Blink Shadow Shaman, he's very farmed. Like, he got that last hit way earlier on the OD, so he got this Blink at a good timing. It has caught them off guard a little bit.
Let's see what they can find here. Lanham, Monet, and Arfu. I grouped up Arfu with a blink away. Very quickly done so. Boundless Strike from Ryoya. It's in a different universe. He just totally whiffs it. Arfu will try and run himself away. They do look to pick off Lanham first. They will still get Arfu. A little sloppy, but they get the 2 support kills.
Pretty huge series of events, though. It's now the 6k lead.
Setsu, he was sort of AFK then. Ryo's got eyes on him.
Flyby's no mana. Bounties are being claimed.
And we'll see jumping tree to tree with that ward. But now Setsu, he's actually walked away from the rest of his team. Ryo on top of him. Astral's there to hold him back, but they'll have the dagger upon him. Setsu will try and hide in the trees. They're actually going to jump back in and get the catch on the Snake, and with the duel, that Snake King dead. The Wukong's command is down. Flyby Money trying to split the Chain Frost, beginning to bounce around between the creeps for the most part. Now it will bounce back over to Monet. They've got the vision onto Flyby. The dagger is out. Dust is there to help them finish off the kill onto the Legion. Ryo has the Boundless Strike down onto Setsu. Buyback's coming out from Flyby, but Setsu, he's already dead. Monet's trying to back up as well. Envy chasing him down with the Frost Shield. The heals out onto Monet. Lanham drops the rock down onto Envy. Envy will fall, but they've lost both Monet and Setsu. Ryo will be able to TP out. Nothing from RNG there to cancel it. As this game, it's continuing to slowly shift back into Flying Penguins' favors. These sort of chaotic fights where they're coming out on top. forcing out now buybacks from heroes like Flyby's Legion Commander. That net worth lead is starting to fall for RNG.
It's chunked so much.
And look at Envy. He's now second highest net worth. Sure, the OD's still further ahead. But late game, this Spectre has potential to be a huge nuisance for RNG.
Whenever he gets Radiance, right? He had Blade Mail. He was getting pretty close.
He's got 4,500
gold.
gold.
He pretty much like, has it done now.
The Midas Curse.
The Midas Curse.
When I said it was a bit of a joke. It was like, oh, very funny, OD Pixel. Yeah, there's no way they lose this game. Suddenly,
that's literally what I said.
I mean, every game this series, the boys that bought Midas have been sent home with a loss. And this game 3, sure, RNG still technically ahead by the numbers, but the way the game's gone on the last 5 minutes or so, it really feels like Flying Penguin, they're getting the momentum required for Envy to just pop off this match.
Yeah. Sure, they've got all these blinks. They're now getting the BKBs, but the Radiance is done.
It is.
And even though Setsu's had a great game overall, he's even had some good saves, but a couple of these saves, they're hurting him. He walked up to save Monet there.
Yeah.
Twice. The Chain Frost bounced to him. Then he gets the Astral, and then an extra dagger hits him. They just have so many different ways of catching on the side of Flying Penguins that RNG has to... I mean, it seems like they have to just stand their ground and fight. And they have to be very careful of this Haunt. They can't keep being so split up. But now the pace of the game is... It's good for Flying Penguins. As now Spectre ult is up, Ven ult is up, and they're playing into a Warlock with no Golem for now. So they could look to get aggressive again here. With all this, especially too, also the deep vision. They've had very good vision this game on the side of Flying Penguins, just constantly scouting out. Even in the game that they lost, they had decent vision.
They just have to fight perfectly with the BKBs.
Yeah.
RNG.
Yeah, BKB for Ryoya now.
Yeah.
He's scaled so much faster than I thought he would as well. After having like that slow Echo Saber, he's much stronger in the fights just as a distraction. Because the Spectre will do the majority of the damage inside the fight now. So playing supports versus Spectre is always awful. Especially a hero like Warlock, where you're dependent on pure positioning in order to get your ult off. The Spectre just finds where you are immediately.
Radiant are
So they've got a DD rune in Ryoya's bottle. They've got everything available too. I believe the rock should be up for RNG in a moment, so yeah, 4 seconds.
Very, very soon. As both teams, I mean, it's going to be a case of who finds who first with the smoke.
Who gets the better initiation.
RNG, they are going for a good wraparound, but it looks like Flying Penguins won't be anywhere near it. With the way they're moving in deep down the middle lane. So can RNG actually get there in time? And in fact, it may just be Flying Penguins that will be on the high ground here with them in the river. The Hex comes out. Fleet's going to jump in. They do have the duel straight away onto the Shaman, but they're more than happy to fight Flying Penguins as they come in with the Wukong's command. Flyby getting stuck for momentarily in the Wukong's command as they have now lost 2 though on Flying Penguins. But Envy, with that Radiance ticking, he can turn with the Blade Mail charge in. Great boundless strike from Rio onto the 2 of them. The Golem's drop. Then it may just be too late. They've lost 2. Envy's still alive. He's trying to kill off Setsu, but he can't quite. Monet's Rage is going to fall off as Rio just turns with a quick and easy kill. There's going to be the blink up for Setsu, but Rio, he's prepared. Perfect play from Rio. Making up for the lackings early on in the game as Rio just owns the fight. 5 dead on RNG. Flying Penguins team wiping them. Now the net worth has gone back to even. I think this game, the window that RNG had, it's closing.
It feels gone. They're versus a Spectre with Radiance who keep just getting wiped. Even though they're getting everything off, they're even getting the kill at the start of the fight. Snaking even missed the Gale at the start of the fight too. They lost their Shadow Shaman immediately, but yeah, Snaking just 4-staffs himself in, gets a great ulti on 3 heroes, and this follow-up, the damage that comes out from Spectre is just, yeah, can't overlook it.
And with just the 2 of them pushing, they're actually going to get a buyback as well out of Monet. So sure, they didn't get the tower, but that's another buyback being expended by RNG.
They've completely, I mean, look at that net worth. It's completely shifted. The Monkey King, who was bottom 4, is top 2 now. Crazy series of events in this series. Back and forth. Like the first game, we thought one way, went the other way. Second series, we thought one way, went the other way. This one, similar is happening again.
Yeah. And this Guardy for Rio's going to do so much work for these BKBs. Just,
he already has. Wait,
I mean, pretty much. He's about 1,000 gold away.
But he just had the BKB Echo Saber. What, 26 minutes or so? 25 minutes?
I mean, he got a fantastic triple kill in that fight.
He did.
And it pays.
And he's level 22 now as well. He was very slowed down, but has completely snowballed forward after these last few engagements. And yeah, that's Scotty. The thing that Ursa hates playing versus the most is getting kited. And you're versus both Venom Wards and Scotty. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, okay. 1,800 gold from those 2 kills.
See mid. Flyby, he's trying for the duel, will get the kill, and will, by the looks of it, be able to walk out. A buyback's going to come out for Snaking, they'll pop the Hort, flee with their shackles from downtown, grabbing the kill onto Flyby. The controls there as well, as not only Flyby and Lanham will fall, Arfu as well, taken out. As Monet, lucky to not get clipped by the Gale of Snaking. Again, Rowan they've lost 3. They've got to start the buybacks. Arfu buys back. Lanham does not have the Golem up quite yet. 20 seconds, so a buyback from him won't be too effective.
Yeah, just wait. I think he waits for respawn. Envy's level 20, has the talent. They actually use the buyback, so it's a little bit of a threat. Maybe they could think it's up and...
Sure, maybe it's sort of a mental game, yeah.
He also, I mean, upheaval is still pretty useful.
And we'll push them back, but 2 buybacks forced out. The tier 3 taken. Scardy now complete for Rio. Everything just continuing to work out now for Flying Penguins.
Can't believe how well he recovered. Just some huge kills that give him incredible kill bounty.
Great position in level 23. Yeah, and 25 is going to come pretty shortly for the Monkey King. And Envy as well. We saw, he's short at the moment with the Radiance Blade. He still dies in the fight, but he, not before he's done an incredible amount of damage in the team fights. They're actually going to try for Roshan here, despite the fact that Flying Penguins know that they're in there. They're feeling confident with the backup of Lanham outside the pit. The Flying Penguins fully aware of what's going down. They don't have Horn.
This looks risky. They have so many ways to get vision inside the pit.
Look at the boundless. They're straight onto Monet. Monet pops the BKB. Rio's going to get the Wukong's command out and down. Flyby on the side will have the control onto Envy. The damage there as well for Setsu, but they've already lost Monet. Envy still alive. The Glimmer came over the Sanities. Will finish him off. Now he's got the buyback. He's looking to rejoin the forces around the pitters. They've already got 2 kills on RNG, and they cannot buy back on those 2 heroes. The controls there onto Arfu. Rio easily with the damage. Boundless strike to finish off a 3rd. Ro never give up, have to get away. The Horn's back online. They can look to set up for the extra 2 kills. They're on top of Setsu. Lanham as well has been found, as it looks like Flying Penguins should be able to clean up another team wipe. Lanham left alone, easily killed off. I mean, they're crumbling, and with 5 dead without buyback. I mean, did they have to go for that Roche attempt? It seemed incredibly all in. Wards were down. They knew that Flying Penguins knew that they were in the pit, but they still went for it.
The golems.
No.
Oh. Imagine you die like that. That would be so depressing. Hits level 20 before he dies, so he drops second golem. Yeah, it seemed
going
like
for that rush.
Desperate move, and they're playing into so many vision ways, right? A dagger. The Veno can keep throwing out. And you're versus a Monkey King. Like, Monkey King loves fighting around the pit.
Yeah, I mean, there was no hesitation there from Rio. Straight into the pit. Now he is level 25. I mean, I don't know if you can turn this one back around if you're Rowan ever give up.
It does seem like the Ursa, I mean, Monet's had it such an impossible game. We said at that point, right? That point where it was 75% for RNG. It seemed like they couldn't lose the game. But now, they're versus the Spectre in the later stages of the game, so it's gone completely the opposite way. Where Spectre has full control of the game now. Envy did buy back, but now they're going to have Aegis and Cheese. And yeah, Ryoya had just incredible recovery this game. As RNG.
Of course, you look at Flyby. Flyby's had a pretty good game in terms of duel damage, and this is with a few duels where they got the kills, they didn't get the bonus. They got 126 bonus damage, but even then, I mean, we saw them both the Legion and the OD just beeline straight for the Spectre. They couldn't quite kill Envy quick enough. He was still able to survive for the entire duration of the duel. Sure, they killed him afterwards, but they had to commit the Sanities as well to make sure that they did.
He's still doing damage too when he is. If they don't have their BKBs on, he's still doing a lot of Radiance and Dispersion damage when they are just killing him.
Dire's bottom shrine is under attack.
Once he's got that Manta down, he'll be even harder to lock down.
And playing support becomes even more horrible because he can just send an illusion at you and you can't actually do anything about it. Where's the Glimmer? Okay, it was Flea. That's what I was pretty sure. He's had some pretty good Glimmer usage so far in this game. Didn't end up saving Envy in either scenarios that he did have it, but...
A lot of money on Flea. It's just casually sitting on 2,700 gold. On a Shaman, but a shrine to be taken. Flying Penguins. Cheese is in the hands of Snaking, making sure that he can buy time to get in that optimal position to drop the ult.
which just ruins everything. Like, ruins Ursa's game. I mean, everything about Venomancer ruins the game. Ruins your game as an Ursa, like we were mentioning. And B, just, yeah, he can just farm. I mean, this is what you do as a Spectre. Farm alone.
Get his arm done, get his 25.
Yep, let your team group together, you can just jump in with Haunt.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Get the lift, actually, onto Ryoya.
Do they want to go for this?
Follow-up.
Yeah, but they got the damage. Lando's dropping the Golem. He's still alive. Fine, they got him. They have enough to bring down the Monkey King now. They'll try for more. Rio's going to buy back immediately to get involved in the fight. Knows with the Golem drop, they're now at a bit of a weaker point in terms of their potential in team fights. Rio never give up, and Rio wants to punish it. Saves there onto Setsu to remove the shackles. He'll back off. They will find Arfu in the trees. So now they've got to make a play. They want to make a play. They know that there's a Rubik down without buyback, and they know that there is no Rock Golem or Duel ready to go.
They even ate the cheese to continue the push, keep themselves healthy.
And he's got his full Manta. Of course, still with the Aegis.
That was so scary for a second too. The OD almost died getting trapped inside of the wards.
And B jump. Oh, you'll be able to find him. Maybe the one down the Manta. He's able to get away. In fact, the Duel's going to come in elsewhere. The Sanities will come down to finish him off the once. But now Rio with the BKB looking to commit onto Fly by slowing him down with the Wukong's command. Skadi hits, holding him in place. The tier 3 tower falls. Blink out will be there from Monet outside of the defensive Astral provided by Setsu. See with the buyback from Flyby, can they actually get a catch on anyone? They cannot, so they'll have to resort to hanging in the base as Flying Penguins play it safe. They got a tier 3 tower, they'll back off, they got the buyback out of the Legion.
They've had to use so many buybacks to just defend here. They've lost, yeah, both of those towers now. They have to make plays.
I mean, they're going fully aggressive now. Flyby heading straight across into the jungle. There's a lot of Flying Penguins around, though.
I think they're recognizing, they're like, if Haunt is up, we just lose the fights, no matter what. No matter how perfect an execution can be.
Let's see what they can find. The scout's going to hit them. Nice preparation there from Flying Penguins. They scan just up that staircase, so any sort of aggressive Shadow Blade play will be scouted out. And as soon as it hits, they're miles away. No way that RNG can get on top of them.
Yeah, it seems so hard. Like the target focusing for RNG just has become so difficult. Because even if they've been getting these duels pretty successfully, but who do you duel? It's like Spectre, Monkey King, Veno, they're all problems at this point.
So we can find it. They'll try with the Manless Strike, jump forward as well. There is a duel, but the damage isn't enough. It is. They get the Monkey King. That's Rio dead for 2 minutes without buyback. They'll go for the Shackles play. They have to find something in return here. Flying Penguins to make sure that nothing can be done with that Monkey King being dead. They get the Fear track back onto the Legion Commander. There'll be another dead hero without buyback. Setsu as well. None of them with the buyback available as they're ready to chase for more Flying Penguins being slowed down. Monet surrounded. Ursa will go. Lanham as well has no escape. As it's another team wipe. A triple kill for Envy. No buybacks on any members of Royal Never Give Up. And they've already got the top wave pushing in onto the high ground. Flying Penguins. Flea making a run straight towards the mid. He knows they're ready to go and they're ready to take a good chunk of the base of Royal Never Give Up away from them.
They tried to make the move forward, but yeah, look at that. Haunt was back up already by the time they get the move off. Sure, they kill Ryoya, but they have to commit so much to it that Envy just clicks Haunt and just throws like 4 or 5 daggers onto people and has a free time.
And they may, I mean, do they have the damage to get away with Megas? We'll see. There's a buyback available on Lanham and he has got the Rock Golem.
They can get 2 melee racks.
Sure.
Maybe just commit for the 2 sets and then just back off. But that's enough. I mean, you are your Spectre lineup, who's had the advantage now for the last, what, 13 minutes or so? Leading into late game, you're just, yeah, you're feeling super comfortable and happy. As RNG's game is, yeah, pretty much impossible now.
That's incredibly hard to play against. And of course, Envy with that 25, the extra 6% dispersion. So much damage kicking away. You can only imagine the BKBs for Royal Never Give Up must be running pretty low now at this point.
Yeah, probably at least like 2 or 3 of them at
5 seconds. Right? Yeah. 5 seconds. Probably are they all at that? Okay, 6 seconds on the Ursa, but yeah, pretty much all run down to just the 5-second duration, which is not going to cut it against Flying Penguins lineup.
Flea has 5,000 gold.
He's cruising.
He buys a full refresher. Doesn't
why
even
not?
go for the Aghanims.
I mean, if you can afford it. He knows if he just gets those double wards down, that's the 3rd rack's gone. Oh yeah, 15k lead, making this game look pretty impossible for Royal Never Give Up.
Yep.
As Envy as well, also holding on to 5k gold. He's Nearly got the butterfly money.
You can see the point, though, on that graph. On that Dota Plus graph, you see where the Midas was purchased.
It really was. I mean, no joke. It felt like after that Midas pick on Monet, he didn't do as much.
I mean, he wasn't doing much. He was an Ursa,
sure,
he wasn't doing much anyway.
He was, but
yeah. No,
the Midas curse. It is strong this series, as now they get the jump. They'll look towards the Venomancer with the jump, but they're not going to kill him in time. They do. With the Sanity's Eclipse, they will find him. Flyby trying to run away, the Boundless strikes out onto Lanham, onto Monet. Monet will turn and look towards Envy. Envy's able to get away, get back to the shrine. As Monet is dead, Leposa and Rio trying to chase for more. Setsu's BKB about to wear off. He'll bring the Lich down with him, but unlikely to escape from these two as the Hex is there. Setsu dead again. He has got buyback, but another fight where Flying Penguins just continue to come out on top. Royal Never Give Up trying to get him very deep and aggressive there on the high ground, and Flying Penguins half of the map. But they still can't get the fight. Buyback comes out from the poster. He knows this is time to go. There's 3 dead. The OD Setsu does have buyback, but still, Flying Penguins should be able to do quite a bit again. Damage is obviously racking up for this lead. She's down 230 stolen damage, or accumulated damage.
Yeah.
And he has got Jewel again.
But they're having to commit so much on these duels. And now Haunt is back up.
And it comes out straight away to make sure there's no chance of a blink initiation from any of these heroes. Envy knows that he doesn't need to hold back, he doesn't need to wait for it. Arfu will be able to get the blink out of the Astral, but it keeps them pushed away, allows the first set of wards to do the job. Flyby popping the BKB, he's going to go for the jump in. Does get Rio but the first shield. Also the E-Blade from Snaking being used to stop Rio from getting hit. As Rio gets this, he's kept alive. The Shackles is there onto Setsu as Flying Penguins collapse into the base of RNG. Monet is about to be back up, but with the Wukong's command level 25 set down, it will keep them pushed back towards the base. A 3rd set of racks is cleaned up as the Megas now out for Flying Penguins against a lineup that's only left to hold with 3 heroes. Get the stolen Wukong's command. It's out from Arfu.
It looks nice.
Monet has managed to get the Shaman, but with the BKB and the Enraged committed, he has to now back up, and he's not going to be able to do so. Astral's there from Setsu, but the blink is still unavailable for use on Monet, so Monet will fall. He has a buyback. E-Blade from Snaking shot out onto the OD. The dagger comes out as well. He will dodge it with the Astral.
He's going to tick down. He has Spirit Vessel and Venom ult on him.
And Monet's jumped in, but he hasn't got the ult back. He's good. He's fortunate that they didn't try and punish that, as he did buy back for that one. They will push Flying Penguins away, so the game does continue.
But Mega Creeps are claimed. You're
and
playing
no
versus
buybacks.
Spectre. You've used all your buybacks. Yeah.
And Roshan's back up.
And a DD.
And a DD
sure,
route. I keep the list going. This will be a very easy Roshan, of course, for Flying Penguins. Who do you get the shard to? Do you give it Envy double Horn, or do you give it to the Shaman? Give him another set of wards to throw down.
I mean, Haunt is
probably
so good, just too good, even if you have doubles. I mean, they've won the game anyway. They could give it to him, so I don't care. Haunt is too good. Double Haunt. I mean, double one.
Oh, he's not going to be able to blink him. Sinister Gaze is out on the side. They do drop the golden down onto 2 of them, but Roshan and Aegis have been picked up by Envy. Monet trying to head forward on towards Snaking, but the E-Blade again making it impossible for him to hit onto the target. They do lose the Lich. The Sanity Eclipse, in fact, from Setsu will kill off Snaking. He's got a stolen Chain Frost ready to pop as well, Arfu, if they do push.
But they got to get their.
They've got to get some creep waves. Yeah, the base in trouble. Lanham, he's like, guys, I can't push this out alone. And in fact, Lanham's just dead. Oh no, he's got the pipe. Save him a bit from the Radiance.
Envy's diving this.
Fire goes to, he's got it!
Oh, he actually bought it. I thought Envy would go for it. Envy jumps back though, trying to help his team.
The Chain Frost is out, Arfu will fall. Dual damage is going to allow them to get another kill. Setsu pops the BKB. They look towards Envy. He's got to be careful. Money's got the sword setting up. He'll kill himself on Flyby. Kills the Spectre. Envy is dead the once. He's got the Aegis ready for round. Oh, the blink out from Setsu dodging the Boundless Strike.
Lanham's just cutting the creeps.
Lanham's like, guys, I need it. I need defense now.
Flyby's coming, but the creeps.
Get back here.
Setsu's here. He's got the equilibrium.
Oh, but Envy's in. He's in. Upheaval ain't gonna do anything, and there's the GG. They'll tap out now, never give up, as Flying Penguins take game 3 and secure this series 2-1 against Royal Never Give Up.
I mean, this series got a lot more exciting than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be more one-sided for RNG, but a couple mistakes from both sides coming to play, and Envy just keeping it calm on the Spectre, even though he had really a very rough start to both of the games that he was on carry.
Yeah, the PA game as well.
Spectre, yeah, he had really rough ones and just was able to recover in a great fashion.
Yeah, impressive stuff from Flying Penguins, and yet again that Midas curse.
That Midas curse
lives on.
You literally said it, and they actually just started dying.
And you got to remember, when I said it, it looked like the game was won.
It was 8K gold lead.
It looked like, okay, Flying Penguins have lost it.
It was like the series of what? Setsu went top as the OD. They lost like 3 or 4 heroes there, and then it happened again bottom. Yeah.
No, there's some great haunt plays from Envy to get back into the game. And
Envy was dying, right? He was just throwing in his life, but he was giving his team so much space because of that. Like, he was just dealing so much damage with his dispersion and his blade mail pickup that allowed his team to get the advantage in the fights most of the time and be, I think 2 people dead and 5 dead on the opposing side over and over again.
And sort of the item build up from the Envy Spectre was really nice as well.
Yep.
Just getting, realizing he can't rush for the Radiance. Manta Diffuse, that's not going to do anything in this game. He has to get those stats, get that blade mail, and as you say, just make sure so much damage is kicked out in response. So I feel like you've only got to feel bad for I'd say probably Flyby and Setsu, because Setsu had such a great start this game. Remember how much he was doing on the OD, and Flyby, he got in